I love video games. I don't have the time to play them all the time, but when I do, I love the immersive world of video games. It's like being in your own movie, and you're the director. Assassin's Creed is really cool because it takes the best of the worlds that I love. I love action, I love history, and so when you get a chance to go back in time and actually explore these worlds, it's pretty amazing.
You know, when Matt and Tina from Ubisoft first reached out, they were like, you know, next Assassin's Creed, it takes place in Victorian London during the height of the Industrial Revolution, and it really tells the story of the birth of organized crime. Straight Outta Compton was a film that was on my radar, and I thought about, you know, maybe Gary would be interested in telling an old school period piece through a West Coast lens.
Gary is the kind of guy who he walks in the room and everything's just suddenly cooler. He knows how to make things interesting, so when we had all these ideas and all these different avenues to explore, Gary was like, I wonder if you try this one here. Got rid of the fluff and really focused on what was going to make the film most impactful.
The first day I met with Colin and Matt, it felt like a bunch of friends getting together and said, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? Wouldn't it be cool if we did this? And we met for hours and we went over the storyboards and we went over the script, talked about what we wanted, we talked about the feel and the look and the emotion and what imagery would give you that gangster kind of thing. And then Pop took it and blew it out.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. Graphically, you know, as an artist, I've always been drawn to games. The amount of detail that the developers have put into the game, the color palettes, I mean, it's so rich, so vibrant, you know, just everything about the graphics of the game has been just phenomenal. Pop
not only took what we were thinking, but he improved upon it and it just floored me.
One of the things I've loved about Gary's work has always been the way he does action sequences. The scenes that we're doing here has really allowed me to play off of my strengths as a, you know, an energetic comic book artist. Worked with Mark for about a year now, and we have I think we have a synergy. So whenever I'm doing a shot that calls for a specific mood, I can always rely on the fact that Mark will, you know, hit it on the head every time.
It's good to have someone who you collaborate with that you can trust. You know, is going to be there and, you know, do what he needs to do, and then you can elaborate on what he's put down on paper and bring it to life, and, you know, just add your own touch to it. One of the opening shots where we finally reveal Jacob and Evie, it's the first time we really see Jacob and his face and his detail. You know, I kind of let more of myself into it, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out.
Then you take the 3D animation and give it that depth on top of the texture that's created with the backdrop and all of the characters, and now you feel like you're in a world.
Our biggest challenge is to really try to take the viewer inside of the artwork and have them forget that they're looking at still drawings. We have a process where we kind of color in the parts of the artwork that we imagine really bringing to life, and we have Photoshop artists trace that artwork and fill in parts that are missing. And then we use, you know, 3 or 4 programs to bring in different elements, like for instance simulating glass breaking or explosion, something that we want to add life to, and the viewer just forgets that they're looking at comic book art. They feel like they're inside of the comic book art.
The whole story in the editing process really revolves around the voice, I find. And if you have a really good actor that gives a really good performance, it makes our job easier.
A man who stole what he wanted from those who had nothing. But there was one thing he would never receive: mercy.
When we got our first edit of the film, we had some temp tracks in there that Matt from New Science had placed into the film that really set the mood. And, you know, I've been a musician for almost 30 years now. I called my buddy Devin from Divine Elements, which is a drum and bass crew here in Los Angeles. I had some ideas about what I wanted to do, so I just took my gear over to Devin's place. We had like 3 or 4 sessions. It's that glue that kind of helps build the mood and really just amplifies what we've already tried to create visually.
To read about it is one thing, but to be transported and immersed in this era, the Industrial Revolution, 1868, with these characters, and then have fun with a little bit of gangsterism, that is the game I want to play.